Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be talking about the Acura TL. So, my father had an Acura TL back in 2006, 2007. Maybe I haven't talked to you about the Acura TL, but what I do remember is that we had a green Acura TL. I think it was a 2000. I think it was a 99 or a 2000. And what I remember was that I loved the Acura TL. I loved it. It was a green. I would say like maybe a green Acura TL, the common green. I would say it's green. And what was so cool about that Acura TL is that I think that Acura TL, when we had it, we took it. I would say maybe when we had it, it was already 7 to 8 years old or almost 9 years old. But what I remember with that Acura TL is that we went from Los Angeles all the way, one way, and back to Denver, Colorado. And what I do remember was that it was very comfortable. I don't remember the driving dynamics of the car because what do you expect? I was maybe 13, almost 14 years old, or maybe even closer to 15 back in 2008, 2009. But what I do remember was that it was a very comfortable car. I loved it because I think it was the Acura TL. I know it was an Acura TL, but I don't remember much about it. I just remember that it had leather seats, and that car was amazing because it got us from LA all the way to Denver and Denver back to LA. And another one was that it never gave us any problems because prior to that, okay, I'm lying. Prior to that, I don't remember what car we had before that, but we had so many. Because growing up, we had many cars from Toyota to Hondas, and we mainly got stuck in the Honda Toyota world. We didn't go with, oh, we're gonna go now with Hyundai or Kia or what was the other one, Pontiac, or all the other garbage that was out there. Because yes, some of those cars were not well created, and that's what made me love Acura when we had the Acura TL. I think prior to that, I'm not too sure of the prior vehicle, but my father told me that we had an Acura RL. Okay, an RL, which to some people say RL is a higher vehicle, a higher, it's like more of a priority over the TL. But it's whatever you want to say, because some people like to say, oh, I like the TL over the RL, or I like the RL over the TL, or I like I forget which other ones were out there. But like I said, it was an amazing car. It got us from Los Angeles to Denver, very comfortable, very quick, and it never gave up on us. Because after that we had so many cars that were not great. Like I believe we had a Toyota Camry after that. I don't remember what year, so I won't be saying the year of this Toyota Camry. And I'm not saying, oh, Toyota Camrys are bad. No, the Toyota Camry kind of overheated at the time, because what do you expect? Like, going to Arizona was very hot. But like I said, that was because it probably was a used, a very used Toyota Camry. So I'm not going to fault Toyota for those mistakes or the problems that we had. But that's not Toyota's problem. That's the owner that sold it to us. It was probably their own stuff, and since my father has always been a mechanic, he's been fixing them. So he didn't really care if it has this problem or has that problem. We'll fix it up in a flash and we'll get it running. So, like I said, the Acura TL, which You'll probably have seen the photo put up. But I have to say it's an incredible car for what it is. It's incredible. I do have to agree with some people though, when they said, "Oh, the Acuras and the Hondas have always been on par in terms of the styling, in terms of the way they drive, except the only thing that they kind of have a little bit different, and I sometimes agree. I mean, I used to agree because now with the 2022 Acura MDX and the TLX and the I don't know if the ILX is it's in a different category, but these three models are in a different category because what I believe that they are not following anything of on the Honda side. They're doing their own thing. So if you drive a Honda and you drive an Acura, it's not the same thing anymore. Because before, I do agree to some extent that the TL was just a beefier, a more fancier Honda Accord. So that's something I do have to agree with you guys, that it is a more fancier TL. So that's something I do have to agree with, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to agree with that. So this is something I have to tell you though, because some of you may not understand why I have a love for Hondas, Acuras, Toyotas, and Lexuses. Because we've had the Honda Accord, a black Honda Accord, which was like a 99 Honda Accord or a 2000 Honda Accord. And then we had a 2001 Honda Accord, 4 doors, and then sometime in the past we had a 2002 Honda Accord. So this Honda Accord was a 2 door. So we've had every single. I mean, we've gone through a lot of Honda Accords, and we've never, to be honest, we've never had a Honda Civic. We've never had a CRV. We've never had a Pilot. We never had a well, what else is there? A Pilot, a CRV, a Civic. We never had none of those. We've always had the Honda Accord. We had the Honda Odyssey. We had a 2 door Honda Accord. Then we had then we went with Acura RL. Apparently we had an RL. I still can't remember that RL, but supposedly we had an RL. So we had an Acura RL. We had the Acura TL. Now we have an MDX and a Toyota. But in the past we also had Toyotas. We had the Toyota Camry, like a 90s or 80s Toyota Camry. Then we had a Toyota Solara, the worst car in terms of being comfortable. Toyota Solara. Then we had a lot of Nissans that were crap also. The Nissan Sentra. Then we had another Nissan Sentra, like a 2001, 2002 Nissan Sentra, and they were garbage. So I do have to agree to some extent that Acuras are reliable. And that's the reason why I'm in love with Acuras. To be honest, I am a full-time lover of Acuras. So when someone says, "Oh, well, why is it that you guys keep having Acuras?" Why? Because they're reliable. Okay, you can get on technical terms and in all kinds of terms and say, "Oh, Acura's not great. It's better if you get a Toyota. It's better if you get a Lexus over the Acuras, or Hondas are garbage and Acuras are garbage." But every single car we've had from both Acura and Toyotas have been great. Hondas, Acuras, Toyotas, Lexus have always been great. Okay, we had a 2008 Toyota Camry, and the only thing I didn't like was that when you start up the car, you would get a little shake from the car because maybe the something with the oil, or the AC wasn't working properly or something, which made the car shake a little bit. But when you're driving it, like, I mean, when it's in the cold position, the cold start, when you do a cold start, it would shake. But as soon as it would get warm, nothing happened. It was just right on. As soon as it was warm, boom, nothing. You didn't have a single misfire, a single problem with the vehicle itself. So I still don't have to fault Toyota on that, because I'm like, in a cold start, it was not great. But then as soon as it warmed up, then it's bada bing, bada boom, and everything was just smooth. Even though I do have to agree that I didn't like the styling of the Toyota Camry, but in terms of some sort of big issue, none whatsoever. But like I said, what do we do with the what can I remember that we did with the Toyota Camry? I think what I remember was we went up north. I think we took it all the way. I'm not sure if we took it all the way to San Francisco at one point or another, but we took it far away. And long and behold, no problems. But back again, I do have to agree that Acura just has a little thing in me. There's a little bit of love for Acura and Hondas, because, like I said, we've had Hondas, and I have to agree. There's nothing where I'm going to say, oh, it's a big issue. No, I've never had any problems with them. I know some people can say, oh, you can have problems and this and that, but my father has always been a mechanic, and he's been able to fix these things, these problems. Even though he's not a mechanic anymore, but he's still able to fix these minor issues that don't become issues anymore. They just become, boom, a thing of the past. So when someone comes out and tells you Acura is a piece of garbage, because I've had people tell me in the past, oh, why is it that you love Acura? Do you know Acura is not anywhere on the list of best cars anymore? You know that Acura is not doing anything anymore? You know, Acura is just sitting, just selling cars, and they're not really putting all their time into Acura anymore. There's no more Acura. There's no more precision or the best. I think it was called I think they had a slogan, the best or nothing. I'm not sure if that was a slogan for Acura, but like I said, Acura hasn't really given us any problems. Like the MDX, sure, it's a truck, and it's not a relatively new vehicle. It's a 2007 Acura MDX. And I do have to agree with some people that say, oh, you're not experiencing the new levels of Acura. You're not experiencing. You're still stuck in that 2007 era where Acura was barely coming out with a super handling all-wheel drive. Okay, sure, I agree with that. But what I do have to say is that it still runs. It still runs like a dream. It still runs pretty smooth. Okay, I do have to agree that one time, one point or another, that Acura gave us a problem, but that was not our fault. That was the guys that tricked us into putting these tires that were supposedly better than the tires we had, because our tires were already messed up. But these tires that these guys put us, that supposedly were way better, no, it made the car wobble like it was about to break down, wobbly. And then what? Down the road it will wobble. We hated that. I felt like the Acura was about to break down because of all the wobbling. But long and behold, we went to a different mechanic or different a tire shop, and we put new tires, and bada bing, we're done. We're out of there. So when someone tells you, oh, Acura's not in style anymore, do you know that? Do you really know that no one really cares, bro? I have a page. I do have to agree. I do have a page where people come with their nice, customized and fully loaded Acuras, and I still applaud them. Congratulations! But but Kia's doing much better than Acura. The Kia Stinger is much better than the Acura. Okay, come on. Kia's not gonna last you 100,000 miles, is it? Is it? Because that's something I do have to say. Is like I said, is is it? Is it gonna last you over 100,000 miles? Probably not. Come on. I don't see. In reality, I don't see people with a Kia that's 10 years old Kia and it still runs. Guess what? I see Kias that are thrown in the what? In the junkyard. And what? What are you gonna tell me? Oh, it's all just it's just all the people that don't know how to take care of their vehicles. Or what's the other one? Oh, Genesis is better. Um, I don't have anything to say about Genesis, but it's part of Hyundai, and Hyundai has not, in my opinion, it has not been so hot. But maybe Genesis is another story. But because Genesis is just trying to be 100% copy, is trying to be 100% copy of Mercedes Benz. Is that gonna misfire? I don't know, because like I said, Genesis is still a new company, so I cannot just fault them on their own their own name just because it's Hyundai. Oh, Genesis is a load of crap. No, I can't say that. I can't say that on camera because I don't know. That would be misleading you into saying, "Oh, all these vehicles are a lot of junk." But when they ask me, "Have you ever been in one? Have you ever owned one? Have you ever driven one?" And I have to say the truth, no. So I cannot come to you and start to give you all kinds of misinformation on cars that I've never been in. Sure, I've been in Chevrolets, I've been in other vehicles, and I do have my understanding that they're not that great. Like like a couple of years ago, I was in a Ford Fusion that my mom's cousin, which I don't really know who she is to me, but whatever. Maybe aunt, you could say. I don't know, but whatever. We she came from Denver, Colorado, and we were on the freeway, and I didn't like the way the Ford Fusion felt on the road. It felt it felt bouncy, like it bounced a lot. When you're going at high speed and you go over a little bump in a Honda, Acura, Toyota, and Lexus, you don't feel the bumps. But when you're going on the Ford Fusion, what do you feel? Every single bump, and it bounces like it's a darn lowrider. Like, are you crazy? Come on. I've been in it. I've been in what's the other one that I've been in that I actually was a little bit frightened, to be honest. To be honest, because I'm not used to the super bounciness of these cars. Like, what was the other one? I can't fault Volvo, but yeah, that a certain Volvo, but that's because it was maybe the '90s Volvo or a 2005 Volvo, but maybe they progressed and they made it better. But this Ford Fusion, I do have to fault it because what Ford Fusion is still fairly new. Come on, I think they discontinued it, but it was fairly new. It was fairly new at that time, like 2016, and what the car was 2013. Come on, still fairly new. How can you fault it? I mean, how can you say, oh, it's because it's a 20-year-old car? No, it's not a 20-year-old car. It's 3 years old, 4 years old, maybe 2 years old at the time. I don't know when they discontinued the Ford Fusion, if they did, but come on. So you can't come to me and tell me I don't know. I've never been in cars. I don't know anything about being in a car. Yes, sure. The Acura MDX, the 2007 Acura MDX, is not the newest. Is not the newest iteration of the vehicle, and it's pretty comfortable. But in terms of the ride quality, I do have to say, you do feel a lot of bumps. But I don't know about the new ones. I've never been in a new Acura MDX, so I can't really say there's a if there's a huge difference or not. Which sometime you'll see us be in a Acura MDX, and you can get my reaction of it and see how it is. But maybe I won't be the one driving it, because I have to get the reactions of, I mean, I have to give you my opinion on what the Acura feels like on the road. That's the only reason you won't see me driving, but that's because, like I said, you have to see me get the reaction and give you my opinion of how it drives. So that's one thing that I have to tell you. So if anybody tells you, once again, if anybody tells you Acura is a piece of garbage, the answer is no. And there's always a debate that, oh, Lexus is 20 million times better than Acura. Okay? Last time I told you about the Acura NSX. How can you compare an Acura NSX to, I mean, how can you compare your Lexus LFA to the Acura to the Acura NSX? Like, come on, $400,000 to a $160,000 car? Like, get out of here. So that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to tell you that my father had an Acura TL, and it was a beefier Honda Accord. Okay, it was a beefier. It was a more fashion, a more fancier Honda Accord. But to be honest, it got us from LA to Denver and Denver back. Tell me another car that is 20 years old that isn't a Honda, that isn't an Acura, that isn't a Lexus, that isn't a Toyota, that got you from Los Angeles all the way to a far away place without any hiccups. Because to be honest, there's not really any cars that I've seen people driving that don't have any hiccups. As soon as it gets down to Arizona, oh boy, it starts heating up and it starts giving up on you. Come on. And then you go to places like San Francisco, because I've seen people go, when we were in San Francisco, have the Honda Odyssey. Sad to say, but you do need all-wheel drive on the Honda Odyssey. Honda, come on. You're not going to get far without that. Because we went to San Francisco, and the Honda Accord going up a hill was a big struggle for the Honda Odyssey, because there is no all-wheel drive. All it has is front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive, congratulations. So front-wheel or rear-wheel drive is amazing going down the hill, but going up the hill, all-wheel drive is necessary. I'm not saying all-wheel drive or super handling all-wheel drive or what's the other one, Quattro all-wheel drive is amazing. No, but it gets the job done compared to front-wheel drive. Come on. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think of me telling you that Acura is a good company in terms of making their cars very durable, very long-lasting. And I just had to tell you that we had an Acura TL, which was maybe 2001. And to me, it was an amazing car. I have to agree. It was an amazing car. It got us from Los Angeles all the way to Denver, Colorado, while it was snowing, and we didn't have any problems with it. There was not a real issue with the vehicle. So that's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you guys in another video.